John Uziak at Uziak Games and Designs. Today I want to talk about the 6 ghosts that come with the core game of Skeptics. So the ghosts have different abilities. So we're going to talk about the Ghost Hour ability and their lingering effects. So the Ghost Hour ability occurs when the ghost appears at the Ghost Hour. So this is designated by the 12 on the clock. This ability also takes effect when he shows up every 15 minutes during something called Ghost Mode. These Ghost Hour abilities are ignored if a ghost is summoned. The lingering effects are just the ongoing conditions that cannot be disabled. Now you win the game when all of these icon sets below are completed. So now let's talk about the 6 ghosts that come with Skeptics. So the first ghost will be the child. And the child, when he appears during the Ghost Hour, he will appear in a room designated by a room card, and he will close any adjacent door next to him. So now players must run to that room, unlock the door, move in, and solve the proof actions. Now with the child's ghost, his lingering effect is that you have to satisfy all these 4 icon sets first before you move to the icon sets below. Next is the Poltergeist. When the Poltergeist appears, designated by a room card, he will fling objects to every adjacent space next to him. Now there's a closed door, he won't fling an object into that room, and he won't put objects on a space. So if you land or are on the space, you cannot do any other action until you roll 3 clue dice and roll a camera to remove these, and then you can continue your action onto that space. So roll camera and move on to that space. Now for his linger effect, there are a few icons here that are restricted movement, so only one player can be on a space to solve those actions. So sometimes you might have to move into the space, satisfy an icon set, move out before it's the end of your turn, have another player move in, and so on. Next we have the Shadow. When he appears in a room designated by a room card, if there's any unresolved clue cards still left on the table, you're going to take any one of these search markers on his card and flip them over. Now during Ghost Mode, if he starts appearing, you're going to flip over 1 every 15 minutes. Now for his lingering effect, you cannot aid dice unless you actually summon or seance him to the board. The next ghost is the Restless Spirit. When he appears in a room designated by a room card, he cannot be pulled, so unless you summon him, he cannot be pulled. Now for his lingering effect, if you start an icon set and you do not finish it by the end of your turn, you have to either remove an icon set next to it or take a timer token. The Woman in White, when she appears in a room designated by a room card, the player must either move to an adjacent space and loses 1 summon die, or if he's blocked by the door, he loses his turn completely and cannot aid. So a player unlocks the door, moves in, they cannot get the help or assistance from this player. If he moves in, she can get the aid, and so can he, but not the green. So the lingering effect of the Woman in White is that you have to roll summon dice to complete some of the icon sets. You can re-roll them as different actions, just like the clue dice, and only items that help summon dice can be used to re-roll these dice. So lastly, we have the Apparition, and he will not appear unless you roll your obtained summon dice and roll a summon symbol. Now this is a free action that occurs right before the round begins. So right at Ghost Hour, if you roll summon dice and manage to roll a symbol, he will appear in a room designated by a room card. If you do not roll summon dice, you discard a room card without looking. Now he cannot be seanced, and once he goes into Ghost Mode, he's going to show up every 15 minutes, only if a summon symbol is rolled on your summon dice.